Real quick, I did have a conversation with a guy yesterday. I hesitate to even bring this up. I did have a conversation with a pretty well-placed source yesterday who told me that the Pac-12 will not take Nevada. And that is why they were not able to get UNLV right out of the gate. And I think the Pac-12 absolutely wants, needs, and is pursuing UNLV. And they are trying to understand. I think UNLV, at the end of the day, I think UNLV will leave the Mountain West without Nevada Reno. But right now, I think UNLV is doing what they think is best, and in the spirit of their educational ecosystem in the state of Nevada, I think they are trying to remain in partnership with UNR. I think that's going to be really difficult to do, and I think when we get down to brass tacks, what do you like to say? Dollars to donuts, brass tacks. When we get down to the short and curlies at the end of the day, I think UNLV ends up in the Pac-12, and I don't believe that Reno will go with them. And I think you are looking at right now, the Pac-12 has 4 schools in mind that they would like to add. And I think they're trying to understand how important is it, and I dare say this out loud because please don't get in my comment section and
about Monty.
Lose your mind over academics. I think they are trying to figure out how much mediocre academics are they willing to accept. Because I think there's no question that Boise and Fresno State don't meet the academic bar of the Pac-12. I think we all understand that. Can you bring in Memphis and Tulane and have 3 really average academic universities where it is not all that difficult to get in? One of the things and I understand the old Pac-12 is dead, and I think that the new Pac-12 is doing business in a different way. You'd have never even had a question. Boise was never getting into the old Pac-12.
Nope.
Well, now they're in with Fresno State. And I think one of the conversations I am told behind the scenes in the Pac-12, and I think this is a very, very relevant conversation, is, do we need to be elite academically to prosper? And are we willing to lower the academic bar in the Pac-12 to get to where we want to go? Are we willing? And one of the words that was used that I am hesitant to use, but multiple people have used the word sell out. Are we willing to sell out our academics to build a better athletic conference? And I think the answer is not right now. Because one of the things that I think is certain, and I've heard multiple times, including from people very close to the Pac-12, is their phone has not stopped ringing with, hey, can we get into the Pac-12 calls? And there is a lot of universities that want to be part of this new Pac-12, that in fact are desperate to be part of this new Pac-12, including Memphis, who would very much like to be in the Pac-12. And I think when you look at this conversation around the AAC and you look around the landscape of the G5, how many universities really fit into what the Pac-12 is trying to build? I think they'd all fit in a thimble. I think it is not a whole lot of universities fit into or align with what the Pac-12 is trying to do. And I think this right here is a big conversation about what is the Pac-12 want to be known as? Because there was real damage done to the Mountain West by the Pac-12. That's business. That's who college football has become. Right now, if you're expanding, you are a consumer. In very few situations, Big 12 included, very rarely can you be in a position where you can say, well, listen, the 4 corners were going somewhere. The Pac-12 was dead. We gave him a home. That's not where the Pac-12 is right now.
Yeah, remember what the Big Ten said originally.
Yes, the story we broke on this show.
Yeah.
We don't want to be seen as the people that cut the legs out of the Pac-12. Well, guess what the Pac-12 just did? Decimated the Mountain West.
Unapologetically.
Exactly right. Unapologetically decimated the Mountain West.
And I think that, I think the Pac-12, I firmly, my opinion is, I firmly believe in my opinion that what happened is that the Pac-12, the Pac-2 at that time, and the Mountain West were trying to cozy up together. They both at one point thought that a merger was going to happen, but they needed more time, which is why they put the scheduling alliance together. Then something happened in those negotiations where they went opposite directions. Something caused division between the two in the conversation. And that's when
Money.
this dynamic of the Pac 12 turning into what a lot of people have said a predator in the landscape, a hunter, not just a consumer, but someone who's going out and intentionally picking certain brands. I think that's where the Pac-12 is not going to get away from that, because you don't go from being a conference that got decimated and being a victim and, oh man, this was out of our control, and having the last two brands in your conference be two schools that have said for a decade that they're out of control and that they're at the behest of their big brothers in their states. You don't go from that to, being a predator overnight. What's happened here is Oregon State and Washington State got left behind when the Pac-12 melted down. They took that personally, as they should have. And I love where Scott Barnes' head is at. I think he's doing a great job. But they took it personally. And I think part of this process with it building back up and doing that through the Mountain West was, hey, like, this happened to us, so we're handing it off to you, right? It's we've seen this time and time again in our country. Oh, it's going to cost us more. Well, we're going to hand this down to you, the person below us, which in this case is the Mountain West. So we got gutted. We're going to gut you to build ourselves back up. That's not our problem that you're going to have to deal with that. And that's what I truly think happened. I think there was a shift. And I think that, whether it's the Mountain West or the American or whoever you want to point to, these group of five conferences damn well better be ready, because it's coming.
Look at the AAC. Tim Pernetti put out this statement the other day. The American Conference is a pioneering brand firmly grounded in grit and hard work with powerful and prestigious member institutions. We've prioritized seizing every opportunity. And just goes on and on and on about, hey, we're this, we're that.
Right.
And then yesterday stood in front of microphones wearing a jacket that frankly was not well fitted. Talking about how, oh man, this conference is united.
The membership's in a great place. Like I said, the speculation is going to be the speculation. I think this is what people love about college sports, and maybe some people don't like about college sports, is that there never seems to be any point where people are spending more effort building than they are maybe trying to tear down. And as we look at the landscape, I think there's an opportunity right now to continue to build on this stuff. As it relates to how I feel about our membership, I feel great about the membership right now, especially because of the transparency and the conversations that we're having. Our job is really to focus on what we can control. And the most important thing for people to remember about, the American is, like, this conference didn't exist 15 years ago. It's a pioneering brand, and it's like-minded institutions. Everybody is trying to move the enterprise forward collaboratively, and I feel good about where we are. That's why we've been talking so aggressively about all the things that we can do to grow. Like private equity and private capital investment is one of them. Conference naming rights, jersey patches, all of these things are growth opportunities for the conference. And what's good about the membership is they bought into that vision. They feel good about what those opportunities can do to accelerate the investment and the success that we're having.
Tim Pernetti, the commissioner of the AAC, who's not a popular guy by some accounts. And what did he say? And I think, somebody should go back and check what George Kliavkoff said word for word, because I think that's exactly what Tim Pernetti just said. Oh, we're fine. Everything's good.
After the envelope calculations.
Our membership's tight as a drum.
We're fine. We're good. No one's leaving.
Leaving?
We don't want to be in the Big 12.
Look at this jacket. It doesn't fit. Leaving? What?
We don't have the money to pay for a tailor, but nobody's leaving the conference.
And here's the problem. Who is Tim Pernetti? Tim Pernetti is a former TV guy. Tim Pernetti is a former Rutgers administrator. But where has Tim Pernetti been wildly successful in college sports? Not really anywhere. And I think that you're looking at a guy who is not comfortable in his own skin and is damn well aware that he does not have a lot of defense or offense to play, that he is playing defense.
Yeah, there's not a lot of reasons as to why you'd want to stay in the American verse going to this new upstart Pac-12. I mean, it's just not.
Yeah.
And as an athletic director and as a commissioner and as a president, anybody in the American, like, you got to get your ducks in a row on what your messaging is to your members, because it's fine like that you want to come out here and coach speak us about how your membership's in a good place and they're all trying to quote move the enterprise forward. But I'll believe that when I see it. I think that if you're any school at the power level or the group of 5 level, you're sitting here out for you, as you should be. And I think, specifically at that level, at the group of 5 level, you're sitting here saying, okay, well, how are we going to survive? How's this going to play out? So the Mountain West got gutted. We're going to lose Memphis and Tulane, or maybe just Tulane. Certainly one of our top big brands in the conference. What's going to happen at that point? I think those are the things that, as a member institution in that conference or any conference in the group of 5, that you have to be asking. And I don't care who your commissioner is. The insecurity caused by what just happened in the Mountain West is pervasive, and you're not getting away from it.
It is. And I think that when you look at the struggles that Tim Pernetti had at Rutgers at the end now, I think we also need to point out he is responsible for getting Rutgers into the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
But the basketball fiasco and his refusal, or did not, for whatever reason, fire the basketball coach after he abused his players. Y'all remember that? I mean, this might not be the best candidate to try and save the AAC, especially knowing that you replaced a commissioner that was beloved. And I think that when you look at what you have right now, I think you're in a position where you've got to find a way to keep as many of your members as possible. And I don't know how you do that. And I don't know, frankly, and this is just my opinion, I have no idea how you stop the Pac-12 from raiding your conference. Because I think it's very much like Colorado. Colorado didn't want to be in the Pac-12 anymore. They wanted to be in the Big 12. So where are they? And if Memphis and Tulane, if UTSA, they're going to go where they want to go. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I think that's the reality. And he can talk about, hey, we're not builders anymore. We tear stuff down. Well, the Pac-12 would tell you they're building something. And in the Pac-12's opinion, they're building something substantial. Are they? I don't know. It's yet to be seen.
Yeah,
and I think that we're in a position where we don't know what the future of the Pac-12 is. But I know the future of the AAC is very unstable. There is a lot of questions about who will be there and who will not. And I think Tulane is in the middle of that, because I think if we took academics out of it, Tulane, Memphis, and UNLV would be there today. And I think if we didn't have contract negotiations, UNLV would be in the Pac-12 already. But I also think that the Pac-12 and the Mountain West continue to negotiate, and they will come to a settlement or an agreement. And is that in the near term? I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is, because the Pac-12 is acutely aware that the iron is hot and they need to strike, and they need to strike now. Because as this drags on, you become less sexy. You gain weight. You put a little fat around your hips. You have some cellulite that develops.
Right.
Right now, you're a 6-foot blonde with like 17% body fat, and you are the belle of the ball. So you better strike.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Calford, hello. Our newest member of the show. Thank you. Calford also gifts 5 Monty Show memberships. Thank you so much for that. Hidden Hawaiian, Justin Jackson, Corian Byerly, H.E. Pennypacker, and Chrissy were all gifted memberships.
Nice.
So appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you have not, we have almost 2,000 views on the show today. Please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the app. Download the app. Put it on your phone right now. Use the promo code Monty.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Prize Picks app.
Yeah.
Which means the only reason we're going to the Prize Picks app is because I won again. I would like to thank the Washington Nationals for sucking out loud, because you have a guy in Washington who was throwing batting practice. And I would also like to thank Jake's former friend, Tyler McGill, who was 2.5 strikeouts, more or less. Cash, baby.
Right.
4 Ks last night. Got a win on that. See, at Prize Picks, the easy thing is it's more or less. Okay, you're picking a pitcher. Will he have 2.5 strikeouts? More than that? 3? Less than that? 2. I took more.
Yeah.
My guy got 4. I would also like to thank the New York Yankees. I've continued to espouse the greatness of Aaron Judge. And hits, runs, and RBIs, Aaron Judge, 4.5, which was a big number, and I contemplated not doing it. But Aaron Judge last night had 7 hits, runs, and RBIs. Big pimpin'. See, I don't even have to tell you who my third is, because as we're all well aware, stop texting me during the show. As we're all well aware, he's not a casual. As we are all well aware, when you play the way Monty plays Prize Picks,
Monty?
it's just 2 or 3. Pick 3 selections, play a flex pay. You're going to win almost every single time, or at least I do. And I would also like to thank Ian Happ, who had 7 hits, runs, and RBIs,
Hey,
and all
Ian.
I needed was 2.5.
Yeah, big stick happer.
3 for 3, 56.25.
Yeah.
Make the deposit. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all Prize Picks is. And I love football. Again, what's the promo in the NFL this week?
Caleb Williams, half a yard.
Caleb Williams, half a yard again, passing.
Yep.
I love it. Caleb Williams against the beloved, the Colts.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Aaron Rodgers, Thursday Night Football.
Garbo.
Against New England. 1.5 touchdown passes on a demon.
I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
It's national TV. That's going to be tough. The one that I really like, that I think is really interesting, is Ramondre Stevenson. Does he score a touchdown?
That's really tough.
I like that one a lot.
That's really, really tough.
I like that one a lot. Garrett Wilson is 1. He's 0.5, which means will he score a touchdown rushing and receiving? I love that.
Where are my kickers at this week?
Yes, kickers.
Yeah, where are my kickers at this week?
Kickers are easy money.
I mean, Zerline for the Jets at 7 kicking points feels a bit excessive, but
yeah,
I mean, that feels like an easy less win. If you take less on that, I mean, that's, he'd have to have 2 field goals and an extra point at least. I mean, that's a lot of.
Yeah, I would take that. Get the Caleb Williams. That's a win. If he throws for 1 yard, you win. That's the best part. Then you play it in a flex play.
Aaron Rodgers.
And you only got to find one more that you win on. You're getting paid at Prize Picks. Did I mention? I may have mentioned this. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more.
Yeah.
Open a new Prize Picks account. Download the Prize Picks app. Open a new account. Use the promo code Monty. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more. It's as simple as that at prizepicks.com, Prize Picks, the app. It is the best daily fantasy promotion I have ever seen. I would encourage you to do it, and then DM me or just tweet at me or Insta snap face at me.
Yeah.
And let's watch you win bread, because so many listeners on the show have done it. And trust me when I say, if you follow my formula for success, you will win on Prize Picks.
Right.
A 3-pick flex play. You're going to win. And I love it.
Hello, InstaFace.
That's what I'm saying.